Pergolas are both stylish and functional. They can add a focal point to your garden, and if you have a small garden, they can help with growing vertical and be a support for climbing plants. There are many that's available to buy, but in this episode I'm going to show you how to build your own DIY pergola at home. And it's not only going to look good, it's going to support all your climbing plants in the garden. I'm Tony O'Neill and this is UK Here We Grow. And on this channel we deal with all things gardening, poultry keeping and beekeeping. If you want that perfect garden to relax in, or you just want to grow your own nutrient dense foods, then start now by clicking the subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified each time we put out new content just like this. Now's the perfect time to build a pergola and get that structure in place. It's perfect for your climbing and rambling roses, your clematis, your sweet peas and even your runner beans. It's really important to consider the timbers that you build your pergola out of, and using treated timber is a good way for structure longevity. If money is no object and you don't like using chemicals in your garden, then cedar can be used. Now, pergolas come in all shapes and sizes and they can be built to fit anything that you want. Now, this particular one was one that was purchased as a kit form from Amazon, and I bought this in order to put over my mother's pond when I redesigned her fish pond, and it was built in order to cover most of but not all of the pond to provide shading and protection from herons. So today I want to build one over the main path of my allotment, and I'm going to build this in a tunnel form so that I can use it for growing up sweet peas and clematis and to provide a little bit of height in the garden to break it up a little bit. Not only that, it will give some focal points in the garden as well. So the first thing we need is a plan, and once we have that, it's time to go shopping. Today I have purchased 4 10-foot 4x4 pressure treated timber. Everything I'm going to be using is pressure treated. I've purchased 2 12-foot long 4x2s, 5 foot long 4x2s, and this will be for the cross bracing. And I've also purchased 4 trellises which are 8 foot by 3 foot and associated screws and brackets. And this is everything we're going to need to build this pergola. So now we have our timber, we need to cut everything to size. Now, I wanted to make this a little fancier than just having square edges on the pergola. So I've cut angles on each of the side rails and the cross bracing, and I have sanded these down with some sandpaper and a sander. Now we have all of the parts cut, we are ready to construct our pergola. Now we have 4 different options here for putting in the main post. We could use a spike, a post spike. We could use a post plate which could bolt down to a patio or something like that. We could even dig a hole and fill it with concrete. However, in my garden here on this allotment, we are not allowed to use concrete. So I will be ramming my posts with stone and soil, which will be secure enough. You just need something really heavy to ram the stones in. So the first thing we need to do is dig a hole. I'm digging mine much bigger than the post, and I'm digging them 2.5 feet deep. All we need to do now is put the post into the hole and start backfilling, ensuring that the post is level in all directions. I'm backfilling with small stones and soil, and I'm ramming this down with a heavy implement. I'm using an offcut of scaffolding tube here. So screw the rails with 4 screws in each post. You can bolt right the way through the posts if these posts are going to be carrying heavy loads, but these screws are going to be more than enough to carry the loads that I'm going to be putting on this pergola. Once we have the 2 rails up, the next thing we need then is to attach the 10 1.5 inch square brackets along these rails in the desired location that we want our cross bracing to be. I am putting mine at 2 foot intervals. Now simply attach the cross rails to these brackets. making sure that each rail is perfectly in line with the following rails so that they don't look out of place and out of line. Now at this point, once you've done the 5 rails, the pergola for all intents and purposes is complete, and you'd have a 4-post pergola just like the one that we built over my mother's pond. I want to grow sweet peas up mine, so I'm going to add some trellis to the centre and make it more of a tunnel. Now you simply just drill each of the trellis along the sides and screw it to the posts. Typically this would be screwed on the outside of the posts, but I'm doing mine on the inside to create an indent on the outside where the sweet peas will grow. And the reason for this is I want to grow clematis up the posts themselves, so there will be 2 separate areas for growing there. So once you've done that, your structure is done. Now I didn't opt to take my trellis right to the floor. The garden's on a slight slope and I didn't want the trellis touching the floor and wicking up water. Although they're pressure treated, I thought that if I can keep them dry, then it will be much better for the trellis over the long term, especially as the timber is quite thin for the trellis. What I will do at a later stage is maybe add some black netting down the front of this that the sweet peas can climb to as well. I'll see how they go before we do that. We will wrap the post in some sort of plastic mesh so that the clematis can climb as well. Well, that's it folks. As you can see, the pergola is built and it is strong. It's going absolutely nowhere, and this will make a fantastic structure for the garden in order to support your climbing plants, whether that be roses, clematis, or even climbing beans, whatever you want to grow up there. Question of the day: who's going to have a go at making one of these? They're fantastic for the garden, they bring in a lot of structure and height, and they're great for climbing plants. Let me know in the comments section below. Now, if you're not confident in building something like this, I'll place some links down in the description below where you can purchase a kit form from Amazon, something like I had for my mother's pond. I'll also put a link for my mother's pond reconstruction there as well, and you can have a look at that too. If you've enjoyed this video, consider hitting the subscribe button here, and once you've done that, you can continue the journey here by clicking one of these videos. I'm Tony O'Neill, this is UK Here We Grow, and remember folks, you reap what you sow. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.